All right, welcome back, everybody. We're back for quarters, and right now we've got Monster, which is mostly an LA team comprised of a lot of seven figures players and then some additional people, and then we have a similar matchup with BFG, and they've got mostly BFG people, but a couple friends from other teams here. So we're excited for this quarters matchup. Both these teams have been playing well, and both, I think, pretty handily won their pre-quarters matchup.
Yeah, this is the inaugural U.S. Beach Open. This is 4-on-4 Beach Ultimate. A lot of people might be more familiar with 5-on-5. That's played at the World Beach Ultimate Championships, but we're doing 4-on-4. Recently, the United States Olympic Committee has recognized Ultimate as a sport, maybe for inclusion in an upcoming Olympics, and they're actually looking at Beach Ultimate to be the first disc sport to make it into the Olympics. And they're excited about 4-on-4, particularly because of the gender equity piece. We've got 2 men and 2 women on each line. It's required, and that's the only sport where there's gender parity on the field. So it's very exciting. And there are also other differences in 4-on-4 versus 5-on-5. The stall count is lower. It's a stall count of 6, so it's a much faster paced game. You've really got to be aware of that stall count and get rid of the disc quickly. And in this tournament, there's the added feature of the cross-gender 2-point scoring opportunity, which is really awesome.
Yeah, and for some of you that weren't watching the pre-quarters game, we actually didn't see a lot of 2-point attempts, and we actually saw 0 2-point successful attempts.
Right.
Talking to Monster a little bit before this game, they've had pretty good success with the 2-pointers, so we'll look for them to see a couple shots. BFG, I'm looking over, and they've got, I think, 4 guys that look like they're 6'6" or so, and they've got some girls that are around 5'10", 5'11", so I wouldn't be shocked to see that team throw some 2-pointers as well.
Yeah, they're a tall team, hence the name BFG, apparently.
Yeah, big freaking dudes. They do have a lot of big freaking dudes. They got some big freaking girls, too. That's also BFG.
Good job, Joe.
But I meant that in the best way possible. That was tall and very athletic.
Right.
So some players to look out for on BFG. We have Kate Kingery, who is a Riot player. Great player, played on BFG this year. And then we've got Tommy Lee, who was captaining Dorado in previous years, but moved up to Seattle and was one of, I believe, the captains of BFG this year.
Yeah, and Trudy Phillip is a Scandal player, so they definitely have some great talent out there. And then moving over to Monster, this is mostly a Los Angeles team, but this team has a lot of experience on the beach. They're playing in the Beach League this fall, and they have played together for a number of years. They play on 7 figures as a mixed team, so look for that to be an advantage for them.
Yeah, they were a big shock. They were the 16 seed, I believe the 4th seed in Pool D, and went undefeated yesterday, beating Madison Sand, which is mostly a Radicals and Heist team, and then beating Nosuo, who I think finished second at Beach Nationals.
Losing a point break, yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be pretty impressive. I think the big players to watch out for them are, Jacob Bartholomew. I was able to coach him when he was in college over at UCLA, and he's phenomenal. They've got another young UCLA player in Heist who Ulti World has put up as one of their possible Player of the Year candidates.
She is pretty phenomenal out here, yeah.
So we'll look for both those two, and we'll add in some other people as the game goes on. This game's actually going to be observed, which is going to be pretty fun. We had a couple long contested calls.
And the disc flies into us. We almost caught that.
We're okay. Good thing there wasn't a video
we'll work
there.
on our
I think
hands.
I gave one of the most scared looks I've probably ever had, but we are okay here in the booth. And they're signaling for a pull.
They're ready to go. And by the way, the observers, they're only making 2 active calls. That's line calls and time calls. Otherwise, they'll only get involved if one of the players asks them to get involved in a contested foul call.
And there you see that low hammer that rolls out of bounds and forced them to start on the sideline short of the end zone that we talked about last game.
Yeah.
It's a big thing for a lot of people who are in Beach League do. BFG moving the disc pretty quickly up the field.
Yeah, being very disciplined so far. Over to Chicken for the score.
It's a very easy first score for BFG.
That was Kate Kingery over to Chicken, yeah.
And looking at that starting O-line, that's going to be a tough O-line, I think, for Monster to stop. They got a lot of experience and a lot of great throwers and a couple tall athletes. You see Kate get it here, and just immediately throw the hammer break side.
Over to a wide open Chicken, yeah. Chicken's real name, by the way, is Adam Simon.
We're just going to call him Chicken.
Just so, yeah. but just realize he does have a name that's not Chicken.
My first introduction to Chicken in college was when he threw the throw. I was on the sidelines of this game because we were playing the loser of it at college regionals, and he threw the throw to Bo where Bo jumped over the guy, the big famous YouTube video.
Oh, right.
So yeah, that was my first intro to him. It wasn't really the best decision, but I guess when you got Bo going deep, it's probably a fine decision, especially in college.
So here's a poll. So Monster has Sophie and Heist on their O-line. They're nice and tall women. They're very athletic. Let's see if they take advantage of that. Oren Moore just picked up the disc. We've also got Brandon Severson on the line there. They're looking for two right away. Still, when we call danger, that means there's a danger of a two-pointer, and they're putting it up.
Two right out the gate.
And Heist is there. Oh.
But she doesn't catch it. I think Heist knows she should have had that one.
Yeah.
And I can hear her saying, my bad, Oren, from the sidelines.
Yeah,
So.
the defender was right there. She might have gotten a little pinky on that. So they're in the end zone as well, but they just bring it out.
BFG moving off the sideline quickly. We've got BFG moving it. Oh,
Nice
bid
bid
by
by
Brandon
Brandon.
Severson.
Ooh, tough hammer. Caught it.
And there goes Tommy with hammer and then go. BFG with a quick break. That was a big swing. That looked like a good 2-point look, and it should have been 2-1 up Monster, but
Yeah, it was a good idea, though. It was a good way to come out of that. There's the replay on the BFG score.
BFG using hammers early on in the game to open it up. Tommy went with the hammer there to open up that score, and Kate used it last point for the score over to Chicken. We'll see if Monster Justin starts playing a little bit tighter on the break side. Otherwise, they'll probably have those easy hammer looks all day.
Yeah, and Dose with the score on that. Dose is Sheila May Reyes. So BFG goes up a quick 2-0 and a pretty efficient offense.
Then we got Alex Carey, Jacob Bartholomew, Catherine Fowler. We're going to call her Zazu for the day. And then we got Allie Webster, and people call her Q. Q picking up the disc, moving it to Alex in the end zone.
Still in the end zone. They bring it out.
But BFG was pretty conservative in poaching, so they just move it up the field. Alex with one of the Zazu over to the break side.
Nice work. I think
Alex
he's in the end
milking
zone.
it in the end zone for the score.
It was a good find of those open players.
Alex Carey's probably going to throw some weird throws today. I pretty much see about 5 or 6 of them every time I play with him, and he already threw like a no-look lefty high release. There's not a lot of wind today, so he's going to feel free to throw a lot of those weird space throws that he does. But those work great on the beach. You know, he's a great mini player, ultimate player, beach player, because he's got great touch on his space throws.
As long as you don't take your own players by surprise, which sometimes happens.
And I think that's why this team is doing all right, because they played it with Alex enough to know what kind of throws he's looking for. But
just to be ready for anything, yeah. All right, so it's a 2-1 game, so that's pulled within 1. On the line for Monster, we've got Jade. It's Ellen Smith. We'll call her Jade today. Connie, Chris Feeney, and
Dot.
And on the line for BFG, Nicole Johnson.
I think that's Kate picking up the disc, right?
Yes,
They were looking to set up a 2.
they sure are.
Oop.
There's still danger there. Now they're out. Oh, putting it up to the end zone.
And a tough outside in throw for 1 point. Seems odd to take that look.
Yeah, it was.
Stall 1 or 2, but
Yeah.
let's see if Monster capitalizes on it and earn a break back.
She had a step, but that wasn't quite the right throw for that. Trying to hit Lindsay Fox in the end zone.
We got Dot picking up the disc with Connie all by herself in the end zone. But Jade's all by herself upfield, too.
Yeah. Ooh, nice grab by Feeney.
That's the problem with the big gainers on the sand, though. You get up there, and there's really nobody to help your continue. So as those handlers, you got to really push up and get up into the play.
Looks like an uncontested foul on Feeney, so he'll take the disc back, coming in on 0.
1-0 on the sideline.
A hammer over to Jade, who's open.
Maybe Monster taking a piece out of the BFG playbook with the hammer over to the break side.
That's a nice score. Nice score off that turn, so it's tied up at 2s.
Here he is coming in after the foul call and just sees her wide open and just immediately throws the hammer.
A nice placement on that hammer. Again, there's no wind, so you can really put anything up.
Yeah, it was funny. Usually wind gets more severe as the day goes on, but in our first game we had way more wind. It's pretty much dead at this point.
Yeah. And it's warming up out here. It's really a beautiful day.
It was interesting. I was going to say it before the last point, but they didn't have their typical O-line on that they started the game with, and I don't know if they're not doing typical O&D. I guess with 6 players, it makes sense to rotate it, but I just think Chicken and Cody, with as big as they are going to provide some matchup issues for Monster, so you'd want to keep them out there as much as possible.
And we do have a roster cap in this tournament. What is the cap? Is it 14?
12. 6 guys, 6 girls.
So, so you got to worry about the fatigue factor. Chicken picks up the disc. He's got Trudy. Nice.
Moves it up to Alexa. Alexa goes deep to Cody.
Got a big guy wide open.
Well, Jacob was right there. He's given up 6 inches, so...
That's Cody Rebholz with the score for BFG.
And kind of like we talked about, I just wouldn't take that guy off the field on O-lines because he just has a hard cover. You have to back him because otherwise he just gets easy deep shots like that.
Yeah, I think he's definitely the biggest of their BFGs. It seems to me.
The most BFG.
The most. I don't think he's as tall as Jake Baumer. I think Jake's still got him beat at 6'7".
Maybe they'll put in an application for Jake Baumer's services after that last game for U.S. Beach Open 2017.
So you see on the back of BFG shirt, it says a team is no one. That's their alternate name, a team of no one. We couldn't quite get a full explanation of why they have 2 team names, but...
I mean, maybe they're sort of going the faceless army approach, but they've got a lot of big names, so I don't really know how you do that. Chicken is one of the more recognizable players in the Ultimate community. So.
Right, they're not fooling anybody if they hope to remain anonymous.
Kate Kingery, too, for Riot. All right, we got the pull up to Monster. Oren picking up.
They're still in the 2.
He waits for Brandon to get in the 2-point end zone.
Oh, they're both looking. Heist has it. Oh. Zazu's in the end zone.
There's no stall count.
Oh, barely got it through.
Brandon over to Heist across the middle.
Monster's getting creative with their offense. That's true.
Got to move it. You see Brandon with the give and go.
Heist.
And that speed is just unbelievable.
Oh, whoa. That was a pretty offense. It looked a little like circular almost. A little...
Yeah, they were trying with that cutter coming all the way back to then throw the 2-pointer. The timing was a little bit off.
Right.
There's Brandon surveying the field, throwing, and you see him go right away. And once Brandon gets a step, it's pretty hard to catch up to him. He's already got, 3, 4, 5 steps at this point?
Yeah. Just got rid of it and went. Yeah, very good play by Monster.
Brandon was a rookie for Aviators this year, and the AUDL game just suits his game so much. He's just extremely fast in wide open spaces, and with that big 80-yard long, 50-yard wide field, he's a tough cover. But even on the small mini beach field, he's still a tough cover.
Still getting open.
Fast is fast.
But I like that sending the cutter deep and then coming back to the end zone. It really kind of throws your defense off if they're thinking that you're looking for 2, and then you can get some big gains up the field.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about that last game. That's one of the better ways to set up 2-pointers because it's not as obvious. But this is a pretty obvious situation.
They look for one too. Yeah.
And it's getting cut off fairly easily. And see, I just don't understand these. God, I guess it works.
That was
but guy to guy, end zone to end zone, or girl to girl, end zone to end zone is just not a look you really want to be taking too much.
1 point. It was male to male. That's a 1-pointer. And I agree. If you're going to do it, just let your woman send it.
But that throw was a beauty. He throws
but it was a pretty
same
throw.
Third outside in flick over the top of his receiver's head, who's got a guy right next to him, and toes it in near
just
the sideline.
Skirts the line there. Yeah. Yeah, that was a nice score.
That was an unbelievable throw. Playing against Tommy, those throws are not really shocking when they go up. He kind of has every throw in the book. I think he was a Junior Worlds player before he played at Claremont College, and then he's been playing at Dorado the last couple of years before he moved up to Seattle, and he's a tough cover. He's pretty athletic.
Mm-hmm.
He's taller than you would think. He's probably like 5'11", 6 foot, and he just has great deep throws off both sides, flick hand, backhand.
Well, let's see if Monster can answer here. They've got Heist, Severson, Dot, and Q on the line for Monster.
Looks like Monster wants to put out Brandon and Heist on pretty much every O-line, which isn't that shocking. They're probably most skilled male and female with athleticism and throws.
Yeah, pretty short pull. I don't know if that was deliberate or not. But again, once it goes out the side, they have the option of taking the brick or centering it for the end zone if they want.
Brandon just goes right there.
Yeah, he's a little short. Nice
but he still makes the
grab.
play.
He's not in. Dot makes the score.
That was a close bid by Tommy, but it's just so hard to make up ground on the sand.
Yeah.
Making up ground on Brandon. But that throw was a little underthrown from Heist. She needs to get that a little bit more out in front of Brandon. But
here it is. Yeah, just floated a little bit, but Brandon comes in and grabs it.
Waits for his receivers to catch up. And he finds Dot all alone in the end zone.
Nice score. Nice answer by Monster. So it's a tie game, 4-all.
Dot with the classy little wrist snap spike. No one's going to get mad at that.
Not too much, but
still
just
a little
enough.
Showboating.
He knows where the line is. All right, so for offense, I got Kate Kingery, Chicken, Fox,
And Alexa. Alex with these moonball blade hammer things that he throws.
As long as it's inverted, it's a legal throw.
Eventually gets inverted, but doesn't look like it's going anywhere when it first comes off. You see Monster just backing the guys downfield with Kate having the disc in the end zone. Oh, and a trust throw
nice
goes off.
out.
Perfect. BFG doing a nice job of moving the disc over to the break side.
Nice movement.
Monster kind of tightening up on defense here,
Oh,
but
Chicken.
BFG finds a wide open throw.
Nice score by Fox. Fox caught that in the end zone. Bryson Fox is his name.
Chicken's got the disc. Monster was playing pretty good defense there for a while in the red zone, but Alex just was a little bit worried about those hammers that have been cutting off probably and baited his guy over to the break side and giving up the wide open side throw. But I get it. A couple of those hammers come off to the break side. You start thinking it's coming every single time, and they get you going right back to the side you should be guarding on.
Yeah, that's right.
It's tough on the beach.
It is tough. Well, so far we've been trading points, so let's see if Monster can score one again.
Yeah, nothing too exciting going on from either team. They're trying for 2-pointers, but both teams are doing a good job at really not letting those 2-pointers materialize. And then they're both trying to tighten up near the end zone, but both teams' end zone efficiency has been pretty good.
So you're right, they've got Heist and Severson again on the O-line, so that might be their strategy with Oren and Sophie rounding out their team. Still in the end zone, both of them. Heist is looking, but she's got...
And looking, but BFG has a guy dropping off on Heist. That's not going to happen. So you got Brandon all by himself. Both teams are just very afraid of the 2-pointers.
Yeah. It really opens up the field if you can make them respect that. There's Heist. Oh, she's got Brandon wide open. Oh, nice. Oh, and he grabs it off the tip. Wow.
When Heist threw it, she had no idea where Tommy was because she was looking at Brandon, and he came out of nowhere, but just smacked it up to Brandon. You see Tommy's back with the guy who just threw the disc, but he sees Brandon open, charges up, gets a hand on it. Oh, but Brandon makes the acrobatic grab in the end zone.
That's heartbreaking when you get there and you can't get the D. That was a great bid, though.
Brandon giving the thumbs up for that.
Yep. All right, so we're all tied up here at 5s, aren't we?
Yeah, 5-all.
The scoreboard doesn't reflect it. There we go. There it is. Brandon's thinking, thank God I caught that.
I think it's more of Heist is going, thank God he caught that, to be honest.
That was a great defensive play because it was the right throw by Heist. You're right. Tommy just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Trudy and Chicken again on the O-line along with Isaac. And I don't see the other woman. Oh, 55. Yeah, it's Lindsay.
Oh, down with the block,
wow.
but it pops up. And he's
Just
not able
out
to
of
make
his
the play.
Great D by Dot.
So Monster getting the better end of these tip discs right now. They're catching a lot of them. Or the other team is not catching them, I should say. Jade wide open for a big under.
Q is open.
And Monster finds Q wide open in the end zone. Nice fast break movement after they got the first throw off.
Yeah.
That's an old UCLA connection, blue connection. Jade and Q were captains together in 2014. I think Q was a senior and Jade was a junior.
So yeah,
Here's
here's
Jade.
that nice throw by Jade. She knew exactly where she was going to go, and she was so open.
Chemistry doesn't leave you. They spent 2 years apart, and they're right back at it here.
Yeah, that was a beautiful offense by Monster. They were open by yards on every throw. So I think that turn really threw off BFG a little bit.
Yeah, and BFG's, I mean, they were a little conservative, too, worrying about the 2-pointers. I mean, that's what kind of hurts you is teams get off to the races if you're given too much cushion on that.
Yeah, if you turn it over in the end zone, you really got to be watchful of that 2-pointer.
And I think part of it's finding the right balance between, backing but still being close enough that you're not giving up easy continuations.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can give up half the field if you're too far back, worried about the 2.
All right, Alex pulls it here just short of the end zone.
Oh, he came out.
No danger! No danger! Off, far side!
Nice grab.
BFG off to the races right here.
Hi, Alexa.
Up here! No break!
Nice swing.
Over here! Ayo! Ayo!
Tommy looking for Kate with Sophie tight.
Oh, she's
what
got
a
it.
grab.
Great read by Kate. Way not to let Sophie in there.
Sophie was coming in there and had the height, but Kate just snatched it right before she got it.
It's a little veteran block. A little veteran box out.
And Tommy was getting high in the stall count here and just threw a space throw up there. Kate's got steps. Sophie's closing in
Yeah.
and just goes up at the right second with her arms.
Beautiful
to make the
read.
catch.
Beautiful timing.
That was a good defense from Monster. They were close on pretty much every one of those.
Yeah.
They're playing good tight dump defense.
They're definitely making them work for it. This is a good game.
And it helps when you throw the pull short of the end zone and you're not worrying about that 2-pointer right out the gates.
I thought it was interesting that because it seemed close enough to the end zone that he could have taken it in the end zone, but he opted to step out.
But yeah, so I think you actually have to take it where the disc lies. So if the disc was short of the end zone, and I don't know from our standpoint, it could have been in the end zone. But if it was outside the end zone,
I think it was outside of the end zone, so you can't. Yeah,
it would be kind of fun if you could stand in the end zone and see how far you could reach. That would give the BFGs a little bit extra, player value because their reach is longer.
We'll make that suggestion for another rule change.
Yeah, if it ends up short of the end zone, you got to take it short of the end zone. Oh, but here's
Heist wants it. Oren still has it. He's looking. Okay,
they were looking to set up the 2-pointer, but then it didn't materialize, so they just move on. And another 50-50 ball up to Heist.
Wow.
But she comes down with this one this time.
Yeah, her defender was face guarding her a little bit and wasn't quite prepared for that to come in. Nicole Johnson didn't quite turn around in time to get a look at that disc coming down. It's a great read by Heist.
Here's Brandon getting higher stall count. Throws an outside in throw that ends up going over to the break side.
Oh, she did.
And Heist just gets up, catches it. Heist has a knee brace on her right knee, and I don't know if her coach Alex Corp's going to be too happy with how she injured that. She came out to Beach League the other week, and I was like, Heist, how did you injure your knee? She's like, oh, I was playing flag football. And I just wonder how many Player of the Year candidates are playing flag football, co-ed flag football at their school. But, they're college kids. They got to have fun. But
and I'm sure she's thrilled that you're mentioning this while we're streaming.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure,
She didn't tell you that in confidence or anything, did she?
Maybe it'll be in the write-up before Stanford Invite in the spring to check up on her intramural teams at UCLA. But she's a great player to play with. I mean, she's 5'11". You saw right there, she can get up with the best of them, and she's got, in some figures this year, she was throwing end zone to end zone hucks.
Yeah, she has amazing throws. And she's easy to underestimate, I think, because she's a little stealthy. But when she wants to go, she'll go.
Her demeanor is very casual. It does not have that prototypical, I'm a leader, I'm the best player on the team.
Yes.
Sort of has the demeanor of the cool, calm, collected, middle of the roster person.
Maybe I'll go for this disc.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she's very aggressive, which is it's a good quality out there.
This Monster takes half 7-6. I kind of forget who started out on defense. I can't figure if they're up a break or not. I think they are up a break. I think there was 2 breaks for Monster, and that was 1 break for BFG.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a great game so far from a competitive standpoint. There haven't been that many exciting plays from the, we've got, I guess people's athleticism is just deterring close defense so much.
Yeah. Well, they're using the sand in the right way, I think. They're able to get open pretty easily because they're taking what the defense gives them. So I think unlike in the last game when they were playing more of a grass cutting game, this feels more like a beach cutting game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think both these teams, there's a reason why they're here in quarters. They know how to play on the beach. Yeah, so I agree with you completely. They definitely understand the beach game, and maybe that's a little bit of the San Diego contingent from BFG on the team. But yeah, this LA team plays, not year-round, but a good portion of the year on beach, and are very familiar with how to move, how to cut, where the throws go.
Absolutely, and very few turns in this game. It's been a very efficient, really quality ultimate.
Yeah, you wonder if, one team's going to say we need to get tighter on playing defense, which then opens up the 2-pointers for one of these teams, or if they stay with their game plan, knowing it's working. It'll be interesting to see where it goes.
I can tell that Monster really wants to get that 2-point look. They're kind of tossing it around a bit in the end zone to see if anything opens up, so I wonder if they're going to try to push that a little bit in the second half.
Yeah, well, three of their O-line players that have been playing out there a lot, Sophie, Oren, and Heist, all play on the same Beach League team, and I'm on that team with them, and we're always setting up, sort of a 2-point look to see if we catch them off guard, because you just hope there's a mental lapse on 1 or 2 points.
Right.
But you have to play the numbers game and just set it up every point.
And you get a couple of those 2-pointers, that just kills you on the other team. It's such a morale killer. So there's a psychological advantage as well as a scoring advantage to getting that 2-pointer.
Yeah. Completely. All right, BFG's out on the line. Monster's still huddling next to each other, socializing. Maybe a little side if somebody wants to go out there and play Frisbee in a little bit. I guess we still have a couple more minutes until we kick off the second half here.
BFG is anxious to get going. They've got Kate out there already. And Tommy Lee.
A little interested to see how that Legacy Eric game goes. Legacy had that big upset of the Fog City San Francisco game.
Is that another quarter?
Yeah, they're playing on the other quarter on this side of the bracket. And, maybe Long Beach will run out of luck there because Eric's pretty stacked. But I think they're going to give them a run for their money. They just play so sound.
I do, too. It's easy. Again, it's easy to kind of underestimate that team.
Yeah.
But they come at you. I think, is this the Eric team that won layout last year as well?
Yes.
It's the same makeup?
It's a lot of the same people. You still got Bo, you still got Jimmy. Yeah. I don't know if it's as stacked as that team, but it's definitely in the same conversation.
Well, if Calvin is as cool and collected against them as he was against Fog City.
All right, it looks like Monster's finally making it out to the line after their nice social hour during halftime.
Our observers haven't had to do much this game so far. It's been pretty clean.
Yeah. And that's good to see. While it's a pretty competitive tournament with a lot of good teams out here, everybody's coming out and spending their weekend down here wanting a fun time. You don't want to come down here and have contentious games that leave you feeling angry or anything after the game's over.
And, Beach Ultimate, I think the spirit of the game tends to be a little higher on the beach. You're on the beach.
You're happier. You're not in Rockford, Illinois.
Sweating in 90-degree heat and 100% humidity, right.
Yeah, or Rockford this year for Nationals where it's raining and in the 50s. You can't be too upset if it's 70 and sunny.
So they're still in the end zone in Monster, so there's still a danger of a 2-pointer, which is why you hear them calling danger. Yeah,
BFG's just bracketing right now. Kate's just sitting deep of everybody, and they're just switching off and having the other girl take all the unders. I think the 2-pointers are going to be pretty hard to come by in the second half.
We got a foul called up here. Uncontested. It's coming back in. Oh, nice Oren.
Oren with a little shimmy there to Sophie. Brandon's on the break side. Early flick throw.
Wow.
And we got a goal.
That was Heist to Sophie.
A little blocked out there.
It looked like either an inside out or did she go around her?
I think she went up outside and backhand, broke the mark around. We'll see right here. Toast does a good job putting on a good mark. Tommy plays good defense on Oren.
She comes off the mark a little bit.
Oh, wow. And Kate almost gets a block on Sophie right there.
Yeah.
Kate's playing great for BFG right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Dosk, she came off the mark just a little bit and gave Heist just the opening she needed to get that to Sophie.
Sophie's happy just like Brandon was. You scored goals, you got a smile on your face.
Just like that. All right, it's 8-6 Monster. Okay, again, Trudy on the line and Chicken.
Yeah, they got their main O-line out with Cody and Chicken and Alexa and Trudy. I mean, that line is just really talented.
Yeah.
I wonder, this Monster line's good, but I just wonder if they can do anything to stop this line that's been pretty successful so far this game. Chicken picking up with Jacob on him.
Oh, he's looking for
and
Chicken.
And the throw goes up, and there's Jacob's speed. Oh, but I think he fouls him.
Is he calling it? Yeah. Foul called on that.
I saw Jacob making up steps there. Jacob was a former D1 track athlete at UCLA, and then we picked him up and able to get him over to the Frisbee field. I don't really know how we were able to pull that out, but highly suggest for any captains or coaches out there trying that route.
We have a foul, not contested. We'll be staying there.
It looks like
so it's an uncontested foul. It stays on the end zone line. So Chicken's going to walk it back out.
And a good mark.
Inside out, yeah.
The Chicken's got that cheeky break throw back to the inside. That's pretty good defense. I mean, that's kind of what you want if you're Monster, is Jacob playing underneath by a step on somebody, forcing deep and just making it a foot race.
Yeah, absolutely.
But unfortunately, it was a foul, and Chicken was able to set up on the end zone. Tries to move his mark, and he just got a little bit of space.
Great cut, yeah. She made him move to the open side and just cut back enough so he could make that inside-out throw. 8-7. All right, they closed the gap a little bit. BFG forgot that we're playing 4-on-4 instead of 5-on-5.
We've got a third observer, I think, out there with more and more, making sure that the numbers are correct on both sides, and BFG's not trying to play 5-on-4.
Seems only fair that they should each have the same number.
You'll see that knee brace on Oren's leg. Oren's, I think, is about exactly a year out of ACL surgery. He tore it, unfortunately, at regionals last year. But has been making it back, and you kind of never know he tore it because he looks
He's been pretty fast out there, yeah.
Yeah, and he's getting up there, too. Oren's about 38, I think, now, and he looks like a young guy out there. He's moving well.
Like, that's the beauty of playing on the sand as well, is it you can really play a lot longer.
Definitely can extend your career a little bit.
For sure. Again, Monster's just getting open at will. They're really having no trouble. I'm not sure why he didn't throw that to Brandon there.
I agree. Brandon was wide open. I think Brandon had the same look on his face of why did you throw that to me? Oh, no. And it goes too far. That was great defense and switching by BFG to force some confusion on Monster's part.
Yeah, a rare miscue by Heist there. And I agree. I think the defense totally caused that. They had them all a little bit confused.
BFG looking to even up the game here.
So Trudy picks up. Oh,
nice break throw.
Trudy is a veteran Beach Ultimate player. I played with her in 2011 Worlds team.
Oh, there's a floating throw that Brandon's able to get a finger on. What a play.
Great defense, all disc there.
Just a little too much touch on that throw.
Let's go, Lindsay! Lindsay, tight! Lindsay, tight!
And it's just a beautiful
right
space
to the
throw.
end
And that
zone.
was all chemistry right there.
Great grab.
Instant on contact on the catch, but they're all right. They give each other a slap on the back.
So Bryson Fox just left Brandon open for 2 seconds, just enough time for him to run over to that
I think
corner.
that might have been a break, though, because it looks like he's forcing that backhand side, but Oren just throws that so far around with a bunch of angle on that.
You're right, you're right. That's why
Brandon knew it was coming.
There.
He gave him the eyes. A little
Very
bump there,
good.
but sand doesn't hurt that much if you fall on it. Brandon's fine.
9-7, Monster still up 2.
And that was crucial for Monster to maintain that. I mean, with 2-point lead, you at least if there's a 2-pointer that goes off your tide, always having a 1-point lead is a little bit of a scary position to be in on beach.
Yeah.
Because you're just always worried that 2-point shot's going to go up and then you're going to be down by 1 just like that.
They have a different bit of an O-line here on BFG. They've got Kingery and Cody, but they took out Chicken and Trudy for this line. Put in Nicole Johnson and Tommy Lee. Looking, no 2 there.
Tommy with the disc, bouncing it back to the middle with Cody.
Oh, pretty.
There's Kay with it on the sideline.
Oh,
Oh, and a turn. Let's see if Monster can fast break.
That could be costly.
And BFG did a good job back getting on defense.
Yes, Tommy, tie up.
Oh, and a lefty. Oh! It may have been a little bit of a loose throw.
Go, Cody.
And BFG
got
just
Cody
attacks the other way. And
Wow.
God, he is a BFG
Tommy, nice throw.
with that catch. That was right there underneath, and Cody just went up over the top of him.
His Dot was there, yeah.
And Dot's not small for perspective. Dot, I think, is like 6'2".
Well, that
And
was
Cody's
a pretty
just towering
throw.
over him.
Right to the back of
Look
the
how
end
small
zone.
Dot looks next to Cody. He's 6'2", and he looks like I would out there next to him, and I'm 5'10". Height is huge on beach. You just cannot jump the way you are, so your
That's
standing
right.
reach is just pretty much everything there.
Wow, so a turn that Monster couldn't quite capitalize, and then BFG comes back and makes a big score. So 9-8.
That was going to be pretty tough to come back from. 10-7, they had the disc near the goal line.
Yeah.
That's pretty late in the game to be up 3, but BFG's
Q
able
got a
to...
little impatient there. I think she wants that throw back. Feeney got a little sucked in by his defender,
She's
too.
probably been watching Alex carry too much of those lefty backhands.
Then it should have
but-
been a hammer, ideally.
That's all right. Tommy made a great play on the defense,
He
though.
did, yeah, he did.
Pull short, but Heist just kicks it out to the end zone right away.
So now they still have a two-pointer shot. Alex wants it, but he holds back. Heist has a wide open. She's not seeing Sophie coming in.
Wow.
Oh.
And I think, BFG was definitely not letting that 2-point go off, so I don't know why Monster was really continued to look for that 2-pointer. They just should have gone in their offense, but they were
Yeah.
really set on getting a 2-pointer that one. Oh, and he had Dose wide open,
Oh,
but he also has Isaac wide open on the other side.
that was a tough throw by Chicken. That was a little blady.
Works, though. In the win in the last game, the may not worked, but right now with it being dead, that one worked.
I think Monster's got to go back to what was working for them before. It's like you fake that too, and then
Look
you're
at Dose wide open right there.
Oh,
He
wow.
got her. But I agree with you.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry, on Monster going back to...
yeah. Because they have such great opportunities to move it up halfway down the field because they're respecting the two so much, or the two threat.
Yeah, and I wonder at this point if you're like, you toss out sort of setting up the 2-point looks because they're just really not confused or shocked by anything Monster's throwing at them.
And especially like Heist had Sophie wide open for a really big gain, and
Yeah.
just wanted to throw it back to Alex.
That's the problem with always looking for the 2 off the pull. Sometimes you just want it too much. and
Right,
it
you
ends
can
up
get tunnel vision on that. Yeah.
throwing out your offense. So right now we're at 9s. Wow, could have been 10-7 there with that goal line throw, and now it's 9-9.
All right.
BFG making a good comeback.
So Monster's getting the disc here. They have a different bit of an O-line, too. They got Zazu, Connie, Severson, and Oren Moore.
There's that low skip, but it didn't really go far enough.
Oh, there's
I don't
one.
know why they're throwing end zone. Well, I mean, he's wide open.
Yeah. I guess Oren saw that and thought, that's a pretty safe throw.
Maybe they're just trying to prove something that they can throw end zone to end zone, whether it counts for 1 point or 2 point. You don't see too much of that. 4-on-4 is the full field. Huxman's only worth 1 point.
And
Which
he
is
was
interesting,
given the backhand. Yeah.
Because you see it on grass just as much, right? You see, even though it's only
Yeah.
worth 1 point, just like an end zone throw.
On sand,
Yeah.
it's harder to get that timing down, and it's harder to float it in just the right way because you can't lead people too much. So it's a little riskier out here, but that was a pretty throw.
Oren's got that veteran touch.
Yeah, he does.
May have lost a step with the ACL tear, but he hasn't lost any of that touch on that pretty backhand out to space. It does made a good job pulling back off there, but Brandon just had a little bit of height on her.
Yeah. All right, so Monster goes back up 10-9.
Pull goes up.
They've got Chicken and Trudy back on O.
Rudy takes it in front of the end zone,
Along with
which is
Lindsay.
but I mean,
Yeah.
they're just looking to score. They're not looking for the 2 pointers.
Yeah, oh, he's got Chicken pretty open.
And that's twice with the ladies on the other teams making a great poach attempt,
Yeah.
and the guys making pretty good catches right there.
A good catch and great avoidance. Oh,
I believe we got a pick call
Oh, a
going
pick
through.
call. Okay.
Still got steps, but yeah, probably went right past Trudy.
and Q is still in the same spot. In case he wants to do that
I doubt
again.
this one comes up. And Flo, that throws easy out of a stop position. Yeah. They just bounce it
Lindsay
over to the
comes
sideline.
back. There's
Chicken's got on the sideline. Loves his flick. Got to force the backhand.
Not in.
He's not in, just in front of the end zone. A little push pass over for the open side score for
Chicken to
BFG.
Trudy. That's a little love connection there. So they tied it up. It's 10s. This game is going down to the wire.
Push pass to Chicken. He walks it back out. Stands there, and then push pass to Trudy.
Finds Trudy.
Push pass, push pass. You don't see that much.
She's probably seen that a few times before.
Yeah. This game's tight. It's 10-10.
Tied. It's
We got
exciting.
18 minutes till cap, so this game's probably going extra points unless somebody makes a break here, but it seems like these offenses are just moving so well right now that it's going to be tough to run off a string of breaks.
Yeah. If Monster just keeps it conservative and doesn't try too much, get too focused on the two-pointer.
Yeah, and this is where it starts coming in. You start worrying about, like, does one break get us, enough at this point? Do we need to go for twos? Do we need to keep them at going for twos to make sure they don't get close?
Right.
There's a lot of gamemanship with the two-pointer that brings it into this, and sometimes you can get in your head and you get too focused on that rather than just playing fundamental Beach Ultimate.
Oh.
And another throwaway there.
Yeah.
BFG looking to score.
It's good defense by Monster. Oh, nice defense.
And Sophie's got
Sophie
steps
was-
going deep, but they're just going to check it down. That was good transition defense by BFG.
Yeah, now they need to come under, make some. That's good. Ooh,
Ooh, that throw just tailed a little too IO away from her receiver.
just out of
His
Sophie's
receiver.
reach. She made a nice cut back to the disc, too.
Yeah, maybe we're starting to see some tired legs here. This is the second round of the day. People were probably out last night having a good time, and it's getting a little warm out here.
Maybe a little nerves coming in, too, getting to the end of the game.
Sure, it is 10-10 in quarters.
Right.
Dose wide open underneath and finds a beautiful cut from Bryson Fox over to the front corner. And BFG, I think, takes their first lead of the game since way early in the
I
game.
think that's right.
Timeout called by Monster. Yeah, we were talking about it right before the point. It's like, do you fall too in love with the two-pointer? And they set up again for another two-pointer with that dump to Heist, which makes,
Yeah.
deep undercuts than the throw if they're backing you. And Heist just bladed a little too short
Yeah.
of Sophie.
Yep. And BFG took advantage. Although there was that great defense by Sophie, so there were a couple turns on that point.
Yeah, Sophie's kind of doing it all. She was open on both those. Their throwers
Yeah.
couldn't find her the disc, and then she was getting the block back.
Right.
Sophie needs some help out there from
Right.
Monster.
Yeah, that's
Just doing
right.
everything. But now we see Monster have a good laugh in there, so it's good that the spirits are up.
It's a good timeout call. I think that was a good time to call it. Maybe they can calm themselves down a little bit and get back to the fundamentals. I think they're just trying too hard. They're having no trouble getting open, so just move the disc, find your open player.
But now the thought process comes again. You're down by one. Do you go for two? Because do 1 point scorers get you to a lead at this point?
I gotta say, you fake the two, make them respected, and then get your yardage underneath.
Yeah, I just don't think going for twos right now is really what they need. I mean, they're going to have to get.
Always go for two.
We're hearing always go for two, so we may actually have to change our
So?
analysis over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that they've been looking for too many two-pointers, and it's kind of hurt their flow in their offense. They were working a lot better in the first half, where they would
They were
just
showing
set it up.
Right.
and then not really looking at after the first throw upfield. They were out of it pretty quickly, and right now they're just bounce in the end zone and just
Yeah.
really honing in on that two-pointer. So this isn't the typical O-line, so if it's the D-line, I expect them to not necessarily look for a two-pointer as much. But we'll see here.
And here comes the pull.
Pull up. They're centering into the end zone.
Okay, they're out.
They're getting two.
Oh, they're going
wow.
back.
Jacob's
to the
going deep. They are looking for the
are
two.
looking for two.
But they got height back there. And a misread.
He was double covered in the end zone. And the guy on him, no call there.
It's tough. Everyone's trying to jump for the disc, but sometimes the best thing is to just outrun it because pretty much everybody overestimates how high they can jump on the disc. That was a great D by Isaac.
Isaac, yeah. I mean, he had
And Kate was
height
coming in
on
from the backside and kind of sandwiching Jacob, so maybe that's why he felt he had to go up, because otherwise Kate was just going to clean it up in the back. But,
Yeah.
all right, Kate brings it up.
It wasn't a bad look, but
BFG quick to the races. Moving the disc side to side. Kate's sort of the anchor of this line.
all right.
Oh, wow, what a catch!
That's Lindsay Fox with the layout grab.
We were talking during halftime. We haven't seen too many exciting plays, and I think I've seen Lindsay out here too many points, but she just comes in.
First, we had the hammer from Kingery over to Isaac.
And then she just sprints open side. She's not even open right now.
Wow.
Connick's right on her.
It was like thrower driven. Wow.
What a catch. And again with the neck snap. Every time I see it in slow motion, I just need to like kind of rock my neck from side to side because it just feels like something's wrong there. But
Well, that was a big score by BFG that puts them up by 2 in game point, 12-10.
man, and we go back to that 1 point for Monster. They were up 9-7. They had the disc near their own end zone, able to go up 10-7, and instead BFG goes the other way, makes it 9-8,
Yeah.
and now it's 12-10.
Yeah.
That was just a huge momentum swing in the game.
Yeah.
And not that one throw is
No,
it, but it's just like,
absolutely.
you know,
But you could say the same thing with Brandon's throwaway. They could
Yeah.
have tied that game up or even gone up one, I think.
yeah.
All right, let's
BFG's
see.
been kind of
Monster
turning
got a
up the
dig
energy
deep.
since then. Oh, they're just sending both guys deep. They're going for a prayer right now. Hopefully Brandon gets up because this looks out in front too much. Monster's
Tommy
just
Lee.
forcing it too much right now.
Yeah, that's too bad. They could have just worked it. But that's one way to do it. Now let's see if they can get the turn.
And it's unfortunate to see that from a team that has so much experience on this beach, and they went 4-0 yesterday, and they had the game in their hands here to sort of, you know, get a little too aggressive with these 2 point
But then
looks.
they get it back. Oh, there's been a foul called on the throw.
Games to 13, right? Hey, we're not worried about it, too. Games to 13, Dark.
Oh, 13.
Yeah, this is game point still for BFG.
Yeah, yeah.
Looks like it's going to be contested and probably go to the observer. It's interesting to see a foul call on a hammer go over your receiver. So I wonder if that would have been a turn anyways, but that doesn't change the fact that if he fouled him. But I wonder if it wasn't that much of a foul. No foul.
No foul.
So it stays
But
back with
they're
Oregon,
going
who
to
had the D
continue.
on that overthrow.
All right. So it's a turn by BFG. Monster has the disc.
And I think at this point, Monster's not going to dump it back to the end zone to try another 2. I think
I
they're just
hope
going to work it up. Oop. But a drop
That's
by
okay.
Monster.
Yeah. They got to really dig deep if they want to get this D.
BFG working it to the break side. Nice grab.
They're being real patient with the disc.
And a space throw out to Tommy, and that is game 13-10.
Wow.
BFG down the stretch was just a little bit more fundamental. They didn't really look for any 2-pointers. You know, in fact, they were a lot of times picking it up in the end zone and immediately just centering it up the disc.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably the difference. I think Monster just fell in love a little bit too much with their 2-pointers near the end.
That's right. That was a nice grab.
In which I don't understand why they fell in love with it. I don't know if they had a successful 2-pointer the whole game, but
And Nicole throws to Tommy Lee.
Such a great space throw out
yeah,
to Tommy.
Really pretty. And that's not easy on the sand because you can easily overthrow those.
maybe I jinxed them. You know, at 10-10, I was saying we're looking for extra points here. And then they went on a 3-point run to end the game.
Your fault.
I think I jinxed
Well,
my
it's
own friends
unfortunate.
over there.
They were so patient and so relaxed in the first half of this game, and they just seemed to tighten up a little bit toward the end there.
Yeah. This BFG looks pretty good, though. I mean, this Monster team went 4-0 against Madison and Nosuo yesterday, and BFG beat them 13-10, and they're on to semis. I mean, they'll definitely be you know, a tough matchup in the semis. Now,
Yeah.
they might be going up against Eric, so maybe a tough matchup for them,
Yeah,
actually.
we'll see who comes out of that Legacy Eric game.
I know. I kind of am hoping Long Beach wins that game. I want to see a Long Beach in the finals and see a couple high schoolers taking it to some of these people. But
That would be a huge upset. Yeah, that would be fun. But yeah, to see some high schoolers make it that far would be
we
great.
just saw a lot of the teams getting in a spirit circle. You know, that game wasn't very chippy out there. It was good spirit. They're getting together, probably talking about, that was a fun game. They appreciate
Complimenting
it.
each other's play. Yeah, it's a nice tradition in the Beach Ultimate in particular to have a spirit circle at the end of
Yeah, and you
the
mentioned,
game.
they brought observers into this game, but the only observer call that we actually needed from a foul was that one near the end, and I get it at 12-10 that you're maybe making a contested foul call.
Yeah.
And it seemed close, but it was, end of the day, it just was a turnover. But,
Yeah.
this was a fun game to watch. So...
Great.
So we're looking on to the semis of some of these games. It's going to be interesting. The level of play is going to heat up in a lot of these, sort of pickup teams. I'm sure they're going to amp up the energy and maybe put down their beers and start concentrating on winning.
And I bet we're going to see a lot more 2-point shots and a lot more layout, bids and grabs.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you that you might see a little bit more creativity set up with that, but with BFG's any indication of how these other teams are going, they're just so scared of it because it is such a big game changer.
That's true.
That it forces you to respect that at all costs, and so it's like, do teams just
sit near the end zone and let them get that huge gain?
And I think BFG sort of realized that. In the first half, they were trying to set up 2-pointers. Monster was sitting back. But in the second half, I feel like they weren't even looking for it, and they were just like, let's run our offense.
Right.
And that seemed to be the key there. And to be honest, on Beach, it's so easy to just hit open people that I just wonder if the better teams are just the athleticism is so high that you just get open, and it's very hard to make up that ground.
Absolutely.
But we'll
All
see.
right. Well, Joe, this has been fun.
Yeah, we got 30 minutes till the next game. This has been a super fun day. I think we've got some new commentators coming in for semifinals, but glad to join everybody for pre-quarters and quarters.
Yep.
So enjoy the rest of the broadcast, brought to you by Fulcrum. And Eric, I know, is one of the main sponsors out here at US Beach Open. And a big thanks to Spike Russell Gaskamp, who put this whole thing together. There are line fields everywhere. There's high-level play everywhere.
Homemade lined fields that he made himself.
Yeah, this is a great weekend. So enjoy the rest of the video, everybody.
And thanks USA Ultimate as well.
Allison and Joe signing off.
All right.
Bye.